We are back with the Kinny Landrum Show here. Tony Rose along with the one and only Kinny Landrum from klandrum.com, thawing out from a cold spell here in southern Kentucky.
10 to 12 inches of snow, Tony, here in southern Kentucky. It's been brutal.
I am over the snow.
Yeah,
but
I am too.
Today's topic, though, is one that is a hot button item for a lot of folks out there, especially if they're in the market for a new vehicle, and that is, should I lease my next new vehicle? People have been asking this question. You get hit with it a lot. Perspectives have changed on it. We're going to get some different views on it today on the Kinny Landrum Show. And some key things to think about. First of all being, I guess, how many miles you actually drive your vehicle.
Absolutely. Now, keep in mind that with any vehicle that you purchase or decide to lease, when you come and trade it in, it's worth a certain amount of money.
Right.
With a lease, you do have some mileage parameters that you must live within.
Right. And when you start thinking about that, you got to, I guess you're thinking about how many miles you're putting on the car and now all that. But it has changed, though, from where I guess maybe my parents had told me not to lease a vehicle at one time. It's changed over the last 15, 20 years.
Absolutely, Tony. You know, back in the 80s, the leases were what we called open-ended leases. So
open-ended lease, what does that mean?
What that means is at the end of the lease, it was at the dealer's discretion as to what the guaranteed future value on that vehicle was or what they would sell it to you for, I should say.
Right.
Now, the leases are what we call closed-end leases. So that means today, Tony, when you lease a vehicle, you will know exactly what you could purchase that vehicle for at the end of the lease. And one of my trainers told me that math is absolute. So, and leasing is mathematics. If after you calculate if it's better to lease a vehicle over 36 months and then buy it out or finance that vehicle over 72, 75, or 84 months, which a lot of people are doing nowadays, just to get a payment that's affordable, you can see which is the best option for you. However, Tony, with leasing, you have 4 different options. You don't just have to choose to buy that vehicle out at the end of the lease. You can trade it in. If you go ahead and trade in that lease, then I'm not going to say miles don't matter because the miles on the vehicle affects the value of the vehicle.
See past episodes of the Kinny Landrum Show to find out more about that. But
Absolutely. So you trade it in, we put a value on the vehicle, or you can go ahead and sell the vehicle to a third party. And, you know, if you can sell it for more than what the guaranteed future value is, you pocket that profit.
Once again, see last week's episode of the Kinny Landrum Show for more on that one. See, I like it's all starting to tie together. It's like
Absolutely.
It's like an episode of Lost suddenly. We're starting to tie all the loose ends up.
And then that fourth option, Tony, is you can go ahead and drop it off to the leasing company because let's just say the guaranteed future value is not what the vehicle is worth. With leasing, you're able to shift that financial responsibility over to the leasing company if the vehicle's not worth what the guaranteed future value is. Now, you need to see the dealer for details on that.
So it almost feels like if this was a game of tennis 20 years ago, the ball was on one side of the court, and now it's almost been served to the other side. It seems like there's a lot more freedom there for the leaser, not the person they're leasing it from, maybe.
Well, you know, you get the best of both worlds with the lease because you got options versus an obligation at the end of 3 years because you are responsible at the end of 3 years if you traditionally finance it for the balance of that loan.
Interesting point there as well. Speaking of responsible, what if I'm in a wreck in a lease vehicle? Is it different than if I'm owning the vehicle or bought it outright?
Well, the great thing about leasing a vehicle, once again, shifting financial responsibility. If you go ahead and have that vehicle repaired at an authorized repair facility, the leasing company will take that vehicle back and you don't have to worry about diminished value on that vehicle. Now, let's say you trade it in, Tony. Diminished value will be taken into account when the pre-owned manager goes out and evaluates the vehicle based on miles and condition. And Tony, you know as well as I do. The one-owner trades that haven't been wrecked are worth more money than those that have. So
interesting stuff there. Of course, get more great tips on leasing versus buying at klandrum.com. Get there, get signed up for the newsletter. Also, keep an eye out for your Kinny Landrum official discount cards. They're out everywhere with us as well. And, of course, when you go to klandrum.com, send in an email. You could be winning a gift card like Sarah is today here in Bowling Green with the question, what's the best family car? I know what you're going to say.
The Toyota Camry, of course, it's been the America's best-selling car for the past 13 years. Now, Tony,
Yes.
that's not my opinion, but that is a third-party opinion.
It is the vehicle that the Rose family does drive. You can find out more at thekinnylandrum.com or call Kenny personally anytime at 270-779-2819. Make sure, though, you get to the website, get signed up, submit a question for Kenny to answer on the show, like Sarah did, and you could be winning yourself a pretty cool gift card as well. Kenny, have a great week. We'll get you back here next week for another great episode of the Kinny Landrum Show.
All right, sounds good, Tony.
Check out thekinnylandrum.com for more.